Congratulations to the two of you on this series. I binged it twice because I wanted to prep for these interviews. Absolutely loved it. Loved your performances. It was so compelling to watch. When I was watching it again, it made me think of the younger versions that play each of your characters. Did the two of you end up watching the younger versions of your characters at all while filming?
I made a deliberate choice not to because I sort of thought that James Whitehouse seemed to have be like just shoved that out of his mind. You know what I mean? That whole period of, without spoiling anything, what happened back then, he's literally blocked it out, and I think he's blocked out the bawdy behavior and the drink and the abuse of the waiter and the other thing that happened that we can't talk about because it will spoil things, and so almost literally suppressed it. So I sort of did that.
We had a day on set where we kind of subbed in and out in a sort of strange dream memory sequence. So I spent a bit of time with her, but no, that was a week of night shoots in Oxford, and I think we were all quite grateful to have that week off. So no disrespect, but I was also, we'd spent time before with each other, and I know that she'd been watching us on set, and he'd been watching you just to get some of the mannerisms down, but yeah, we were.
Make the younguns work. That's
exactly.
what I say.
Exactly. And they're running through the streets in the death of night. I mean, I love my profession. I really do.
But still, you're like, that was a lot. Well, with each episode, there's more and more revealed about the relationship and marriage between Sophie and James. And I'm wondering kind of how the two of you constructed that dynamic, especially with, I'm sure, having to film some scenes out of order. So Sienna, I want to begin with you. How did you and Rupert kind of discuss how to construct the dynamic between these two characters? Because it was fascinating to watch.
You know, we really had a fantastic director in S.J. Clarkson guiding us throughout all of it, but we did pretty much block shoot everything at the White House. And everything at the White House is incredibly intense. There's very few moments of levity, so it was quite a lot of wading through ugly mud every single day. And thankfully we had each other, and we've known each other for a while, but get on extremely well and managed to laugh in spite of the density of what we were doing. I mean, it was hard work and it was painful work, and you need somebody that you adore and trust and
sadly she had me
can lean on, and unfortunately I didn't have that. No, we really took care of each other, and it needed that because there were days where it was just a lot, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But we had a fantastic director as well
and we call it the White House. Obviously it's not the White House, it's the White House house.
Yes, the White House residence.
Yes, exactly. Not
the White House is White House because it was a White House.
Yes.
But it's not the White House, just for the folks over there.
just to be clear, well, last question for you both. In the initial first couple episodes, your characters get these shocking revelations, and there's a shot where you guys are pulled back, like you're falling. I'm wondering how you guys shot that on set, because it was honestly one of the most memorable scenes in the whole series. So Rupert, how did you shoot that at the end of episode 1 when it looks like you're kind of falling midair?
I had an incredibly strong man, a long rope, and I got whiplash. It was literally like, imagine a tug of war when you have two sides doing that, but it was on one side, and I didn't know when it was coming, and that was part of why it was great, I think, because I was like, just do it, don't tell me, otherwise I'll. So to get it looking natural, if in slow motion, otherwise you kind of you tense up or whatever. So in the end, he just kind of did one and just did it, and then. It's like being punched in the. It's like what it looked like.
Did you land on a crash mat?
Yeah.
Good.
Sienna, did you not?
Didn't you?
I got whiplash from falling out the lift.
Yeah.
Yes. No, we had a stunt in the elevator, I think it's episode 4 maybe, where they reconstructed the lift on a set and then had a crash mat. How many feet down was that?
Long way, yours one was.
So I had to kind of fall and land, and then it cut to, a stunt that was on ropes and flying through the air. But that initial fall back again, they're so impactful, and I love the idea of her using metaphor like that at the end of episodes.
Like physical allegory, yeah.
Really, really clever. And quite fun to do until we're just getting old, aren't we? Bit
so
painful
old.
the next day.
Old and crunchy.
Oh my gosh, you both are not. Well, they're wrapping me. Again, congratulations to you. I cannot wait for fans to see it when it comes out to Netflix. Absolutely compelling, and loved each of your performances so much. And Sienna, I love Factory Girl. And Rupert, I love Pride and Prejudice. I actually have a poster of it on my home office here. One of my favorite movies of all time. So this was an honor to chat with the both of you today.
Thank you.
You guys can finish your conversation.
No, you don't want to hear it.
I was just talking about my hairy legs. No one needs to. My adolescent hairy legs.
Oh, fab. Well, Naomi and Michelle, congratulations to the two of you on this series. Absolutely loved it. I thought that your performances in playing these two women were just so compelling. And Naomi, for your character specifically in these courthouse scenes, she really has to recollect some horrifying events. So when you have to get into this emotional headspace and you're filming there in those scenes with Michelle, how do you come like in and out of that emotional space?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. We actually, funnily enough, we did the scene we kind of filmed as almost like a play. They were like 15-minute scenes. Obviously you have different setups, which of course makes it more disjointed, but it was actually helpful that we could kind of get the natural trajectory of her emotional arc for that scene. And then to answer your question about kind of, conserving energy and making sure that it was a learning process for me, for sure. I think levity is really important. I mean, for me personally, I wouldn't be able to remain in that kind of emotional state. I wouldn't have been able to sustain that for, days on end. So, it's just watching silly YouTube videos in between having a laugh and a bit of a joke. And yeah, it's funny though, because I remember first walking out onto the stand and you're on set, and the set is amazing. It really looks like a courtroom. I was like a courthouse. Courtroom really looks like a courtroom, and there is this kind of performative, theatrical nature to it. And so for me as an actor, walking out and feeling that nervous, it kind of does make you realize, wow, this is all fake. It's not real, and I'm feeling nervous. My goodness, I cannot even imagine how terrifying and difficult it must be for someone to have to relive their trauma in that context of not being amongst people who are supportive, but actually people who are kind of trying to figure out whether you're even lying or not. I think it definitely is an eye opener in that sense. But yeah, I'd say just bits of levity in and out, bit of trash reality TV in the evening when you get home. Oh yeah, Bake Off, defo. Love a bit of Bake Off, me.
No, I appreciate that answer. And I love that you can't, there's moments where you just have to like have a joke and laugh. Well, Michelle, in this series, the story centers around a scandal which is going to threaten the lives of the main characters. And this made me think of Lady Mary's scandal in Downton Abbey when her like life and reputation were being threatened. Had Lady Mary been brought to trial, assuming the evidence was inconclusive, how do you think Kate would have judged the situation?
I think they would have been pretty good sort of sparring partners, actually, because I think Mary could, she could really give Kate a run for her money, and Kate could give Mary a run for her money. So I think it would be a pretty heated cross-examination with her, if that was the case.
Maybe Mary would have been a lawyer in another life. Who knows?
Maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Well, last question for you. I love the song that you just recently put out, Calming Storm. It's so beautiful. Huge Downton Abbey fan. What can you tell us about what Lady Mary's storyline is going to be in the upcoming film?
Well, there's a challenge ahead of her, and it's all about finding money to keep the house afloat. So she's got her business hat on again, but there's lots of different things coming to the house, and it's a whole movie set takes over, as you've probably seen from the trailer. So the house is completely turned upside down, and they're all kind of out of their comfort zone. So it's really fun to see the characters being challenged like that.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. Congratulations on this series. Absolutely loved the ending shot, Michelle. I'm kind of hoping for a season 2, by the way, so maybe y'all can make that happen. But congratulations to the two of you ladies. It was so much fun chatting with you today.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.